sure that it was an excruciating night. After eating and sharing for the last time with the disciples, they went to the Garden of Gethsemane to pray. And he asked them to stay awake and pray with him. But he came back and he found them sleeping. I think they were so emotionally exhausted. I don't know if it was from the food or from the things that had been said at dinner, but there was definitely a heaviness on their spirits that just lulled them to sleep. And they fought to stay awake, but that was a battle that they did not win. I think about the prayer that he prayed that night. It was filled with a deep sense of foreboding of two things that he did not want to do.
In the garden where he prayed, where the weight of sin was laid upon a perfect lamb. There he prayed with fervency for the likes of you and me, till the ground was drenched with all his pain.
Now, don't get me wrong. I don't believe that Jesus ever feared being crucified. After all, that's what he came for. He didn't come to live, he came to die. However, there were two things that weighed heavy on his heart as he prayed that night. The first was separation from us. He began his new ministry that night as intercessor for us. He prayed and he said, Father, don't let one of these that you've given me be taken out of my hand. Don't let me lose one. He prayed fervently that the Father would keep us secure in our salvation, in our relationship with him, and that what he came to die for would not be lost.
Lord, let it not be all in vain. He shed.
Second, he prayed about being separated from the Father himself. He had never been separate from the Father. They had always been together in glory. He was there at the creation of the world, and the thought of being separated from his Father was excruciating. I really pray that I have that same type of heart for God, that the thought of being separated from him would be excruciating to me, that I would never want anything to come between me and my Abba Father. How about you? Jesus prayed that night. If it's possible, let this cup pass from me. Father, I don't even want to think about being separated from you. And yet, what could make somebody love us so much that the very thing that they hated the most, the thought of being separated from the Father because of us, he was still willing to go through with it. And so finally he said, let your will be done. His eyes were set on the cross because he saw a greater joy once he got past being separated from the Father. He saw us on the other side of the cross. But in the meantime, while he prayed that prayer, it said that the sweat that came from his body became as blood. He literally sweated blood.